Hello everybody, it's VerticalSandwich. Welcome to post-commentary probe collection for Destroy All Humans.
They were like astronauts in some sort of a Star Trek in a galaxy far, far away, but it turned out they were all damn dirty apes, you maniacs!
That's a lot to unpack there. So I ended up, I didn't recognize Modesta Massacre 2. It's actually just, we did Modesta Massacre, so now you can do one where you kill 16 instead of like 14 females. And we did it and succeeded, so I wanted to show that.
Go ahead. Big
That was not a very good start. That only killed one woman. Like, it killed like 3 cars, but 1 woman. I think a cop took a swing at me. I mean, it was a horrible failure. But...
activities have been detected. Patrols are on the lookout for any possible communist activities.
And I'm like missing everybody. I mean, I need 6 more in 40 seconds. Now 2 more.
Good work, Crypto.
And there we go. So, all I can show you are the ones that we didn't get in the actual LP. So the last one at Turnip Seed Farm is from this pickup. Which is by this field full of farmers with like no buildings around it except for this little building. There's actually a probe just up the hill from here. I was a little surprised. This seemed like an area that I probably would have checked a bunch of times, but what are you gonna do? I had to do a text walkthrough to do these, by the way, and that's really hard. It's super hard to go through somebody's explanations of these. So, there we go. That's everything at Turnip Seed Farm now. As far as probes and stuff go. So now when you collect it, you get a Furanagami item. And it's essentially like the extras. So it'll be things like, you know, character sketches and animatics. Stuff like that. Now, I left going to Rockwell in here, and it was dumb. I didn't need to do that. Because I actually left Rockwell because I ended up getting in a fight with some cops, and then more cops came, and then more cops came, and then more cops came, and then it got to the point where I couldn't get left alone, like, to search, so I just left and came back. So my DNA count will stay reasonably standard. There are a couple places where it jumps just a little, and that's because I extracted brains from people I was fighting. So, you know, easy explanation. So in the ruins of the fair, there was a cotton candy stand. I mean, we destroyed it. But there was a probe by it. And we missed it. So we only need 2 more, and they're both along the river. Like, just to the left here, and straight to the river, and you'll see them both. Which is another thing I thought I checked a bunch. Like, but apparently not. I mean, so I guess the theme is that I'm worse at this game than I think I am. Like, I think I'm better than I am.
Better have another drink.
Yeah, so there's one, and I could see the other one. So I was like, oh, well, there we go, we're good. So that's all of them for Rockwell. We're going to finish Santa Modesta as well in this video. And then I don't know what I'm going to do with what I've got so far. I'm not done with Area 42 yet. But the video itself might actually be worth just showing the uncut one video I've done. Because it's got like 10 collections. And some really weird stuff. So yeah, it's stuff like this. The intro movie animatic, evolution of an alien, Blue Book, the saucer blueprints. So just show things like saucer blueprints. I mean, drawings. They're clearly sketches. They're like conceptual sketches. And the same thing with the alien one. I left the alien one in because I wanted to see how far the slideshow would go. And I don't even know if I completed it. But it's weird because these aliens get like less and less like. Like, I like some of these designs. But I mean, that one looks like kind of like the alien that we're playing. But like that looks nothing like anything. And I would have loved that. That is terrifying. So then, but that's what we ended up with. So like I said, we'll go through the extras at a different time. So in Santa Modesta, there's one up among these trees that you just kind of have to hover. And this grove of trees is pretty close to the baseball diamond. But I can't really tell you much aside from that. So 43, we have 7 more to go. This was the one I thought was, well, it's one of 2 that were really tricky. If I had just searched this whole place backwards and forwards, I would have found, oh, it's right next to this landing site. So this is cool. It's right next to the second landing site. Well, it's next to a landing site.
You know what would really make this perfect? A new riding mode.
So this is the other one I never would have found. Not in a million years, I don't think.
Beating back wilderness. The eternal struggle continues.
And this is actually just a little further away from the baseball diamond than that grove of trees was.
I don't know you.
Is this a bit weird?
You're
you and
starting
I
to scare me a
standing
little
here like this? I got married yesterday, and now I have the 7-minute itch. And I want to scratch it, baby. Yowza, yowza.
So it's like, it's weird because there are these, yeah, it's behind this. Like, look at how hard that is to see. So now we have a couple that were really obvious. A couple that will be very easy for you to just go after. So there's this park in the middle of town, and there's 2 above trees in this park. But I found that it was hard to get up to them unless you flew off the fountain in the middle of the park. The fountain in the middle of the park gets you just high enough to grab these things. But they're like at opposite corners. But they're both above really big trees. So yeah, so there's our next one. So I'm trying to think of where, I can think of where, oh yeah, I know where the next 4 are. So actually from the top of these buildings, we're gonna jump to the next one, pretty much. We're just gonna run to the other end of these buildings. And then from the roofs, you'll see kind of where we can go. Oh no, this is off the mall. I think this is off the back of the mall. But you'll see that there's a fence right here against the back of these buildings, and there's one in here.
Wanna resist arrest?
There's also a cop that I murder and then hollow bob. Alright, and then this church across from the radio station, there's one right on the top of the steeple. Which is another area that I'm shocked I didn't find myself. Because it's such an obvious hidden item placement kind of thing. You put it at the top of like the highest peak of a prominent landmark. So now there's 2 left. Now down the hill from this church, like if you're traveling from where you initially start the level and you go all the way up to the radio station in the church and you keep going down the hill, there's a gas station down there and a diner, and that's the area we're gonna be in after this. So there's this big open area with palm trees, and then there are some houses. And again, this is down the hill, right where I told you. So here's one. And then the last one's actually on top of the diner. So yeah, I mean, using a text walkthrough, it was very labor intensive. Like, without a doubt. There's so much editing that went on in this set of videos. I mean, there was like a big cut there where I was standing like reading text instructions. And I still left way too much stuff in.
We're under attack! Well, time to light the grill. What?
So right now, I'm working through getting all the ones in Area 42. And then we will probably lay off for a bit. Because we have 2 more locations, but man, the Union City one's gonna be rough. It's gonna be so rough. That city is just violent. So when we come back, probably like I said, the uncut video. And in fact, maybe I'll just pull the text up and run through them reading the text. I mean, I could do that.